I'm trying my luck at a consignment shop today. I've sold on Mercari, eBay, through local ads, Facebook Marketplace, even a little on Instagram, but I've never tried selling at a consignment shop. So I'm going into Indie Clover today to try this out. I have filled my car with all kinds of stuff to fill my booths with, and I am taking a little bit of a risk today. Indie Clover is typically somewhere where women shop, and I'm not exaggerating. On the app it says girls just want to have funs, but in doing this I am being very intentional. This is about 2 weeks before Christmas, and I believe women are going to go in to look for something for themselves, and then in turn they're gonna find some men's stuff and maybe buy something for their boyfriends or their husbands. So we'll see if that's true. Let's get it started.
Hi. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Tyson Haskett.
Okay.
I have 2.
Okay, you're booth 46 and 47,
Okay.
and Aaron can take you there and get you started.
Cool. Thank you.
Have you sold with us before?
I haven't.
Okay, let me tell you about it. So, pretty much these are your booths.
Sweet.
And then how it works is, here's your little basket. You can use both bins if you like have little trinkets to put in there. And then this is how the tagging gun works. You pretty much just like take one of your tags, and you want to tag every single item, because if you don't, we can't sell it. And then you just pretty much stick it through where you want it, and then you just like poke it through, kind of like that. And this one's being annoying, but it should work. But if it doesn't, just let me know.
Okay.
And then these are for like if you have little purses and stuff.
I do.
Okay, cool. And then this is a little poster you just stick up here when you're done if you want, just to talk about like what is in your booth so people can kind of see the posters.
Okay, perfect.
And then let us know when you're done so we can like check you off.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for your help.
All right, I'm like halfway through right now, and this thing already looks super full. I thought I was underestimating how much stuff that I needed, but I actually had way more. I had to put some back in the car. Today I drove to Provo, which is about 20 minutes away from where I live. The reason that I did this is because this area is right next to the BYU campus. It's also just an area for more foot traffic, which I think will help my sales. So in renting out one booth, it costs $30 per week. I'm renting 2 booths for 2 weeks, the 2 weeks before Christmas and a couple of days after. Not only do they charge per booth per week, but they also ask for 33%. Now, when I called the girl on the phone, said it was only 10%, but then when I signed up, I found out that it was 33%, which I think is really high. It made me second guess actually doing this. Only taking 66% of gross profits is pretty rough, but I looked at other places like this in this area and they charge over 40%. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to sell some mass product and make this worth it. I really was having problems with that tagging gun. I had to get some extra help. I even accidentally stabbed myself with it. It was super sharp.
Okay, it should be okay now. It was a little like squished.
A couple of days ago, I selected from the wide variety of inventory that I have what would be good to put into my 2 booths. I went through everything, threw some sticky tape on, labeled the size and the price because I knew I was going to need that for the tags, and I didn't want to figure out what price to put everything at while I was here because it's going to take such a long time. Even then, I still completely underestimated how long it would take for me to tag and mark every single one of my items. I think it took me probably a half hour just to do these hats. As the booth was getting finished up, I was actually really proud of the variety that I had. Most people only had clothes, but I think big stacks of stuff like these vinyls really set myself apart. Then before you know it, I was putting the finishing touches on. I looked up and people are already shopping my booth. The store was open. I think we're 3 hours in right now. That took so much longer than I thought. Let me introduce you to my booth.
Oh wait, your mom said.
Up here we have a crazy collection of jazz hats. Got some random little knickknacks,
Come over here.
little toys. The Starbucks mugs that I've been trying to get rid of. These stupid tumblers. I've been trying to get rid of these for months. A couple purses over here. And then down here in this section, some Kate Spade, some Dooney and Burke. With the vintage tees, we got an NSYNC here. Big stack of vinyl albums. A couple plush. Got the men's shoes over here. Got some sweatpants. The jersey section. Some crazy all over print tees. Some good vintage stuff. We got Coogee-esque sweaters. I don't know, not perfect, but it looks pretty good. I saw these guys post on their Instagram last week that the top seller had around $500 in sales at their booth for the week. My goal is to do $1,000 and I've got this for 2 weeks. I need to beat the top seller. Let's say $1,001. I think I chose the perfect time to do this because today the Grinch is here. It's gonna drive in a lot more traffic.
Is your booth ready to be checked off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, yeah, I'm finally ready. I took so long.
Oh, we love it. And you can come in also at any time to restock.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for your help. All right, so I'm all wrapped up in here. We're gonna check out the app. They said that the app is going to allow me to see what I've been selling throughout the week. And so far, I'm really impressed by the foot traffic. This is my first time coming to this location. And I think that there have been tons of people that have come through in just the first hour that they've been open. So it's a good sign. So I'm gonna check back in a few days and see how the sales are going. Okay, so it's been 2 business days since I dropped off my stuff at the consignment shop. What's cool is they actually have an app that shows you how many things that you sold and your total sales. So I have 2 booths, and the first one I have $223.52 in sales. I sold 15 items. Okay, I'm gonna switch to my other booth, and in the second booth I made $148.58 and I sold 17 items. There is a little bit of a negative that the consignment shop doesn't keep track of the specific items that you sell, only the total number of sales and how much money you made. So luckily for me, I have a decent idea of the inventory, and I took a lot of pictures of the stuff that I took to the booth so I can figure out what sold and what didn't sell. So my total sales just after a couple of days is just about $371, and I've sold 32 items. I also reached out to those people on Instagram, and they took a picture of my booth for me so I can get a better idea of what I need to restock here in a couple of days. I sold a couple of Starbucks tumblers. I sold some Utah and BYU gear. It is 2 days after that last check-in. I'm almost to that $501 goal for this first week, and I decided I would come back in and do a little bit of a restock. What's so funny right now is I see a lady inside, and she is buying the Champion hoodie that I had hanging in my booth. We're making sales. The best part about this little restock is the fam came with me. Let's see how we're looking. Today's Thursday, and they give you the option to mark your booth down 25, 50, or 75%. But I figured if I'm selling an item and you take 25% off that, and then you take 33% off what those guys take, then that's just way too much of a discount to make it worth it to me.
That cool koozie.
Koozie. Haley decided that it would be a good idea to throw on the men's and women's signs onto here. Sloan's had a few suggestions as well. Oh, you picked out a few baby items? Want to show the crowd? Feeling good though. I did a little rearranging. The hats were just getting pushed back into this other person's section over here, so I moved them down here. I think they're going to be easier for most people to see. Feeling good about it. So we are in week 2 of my booth sales. The time's just about coming to an end. At the end of today, I'm going to go to the booth and clean everything out. So far, I have about $917 in sales, so I'm hoping that we can push over. I'm hoping that we can push to the $1,001 goal that we had. We have until the rest of the day to do it. It was a little bit slower this week because of Christmas, the store not being open on Christmas. My wife Haley had to get her tonsils out, and I've just been so busy during the holiday season that it's been hard for me to list a lot of the stuff that I have here. I think it's been a successful move, but hopefully we can hit that goal. Stay tuned for the results for later today to see if we can hit $1,000. Sloan is on pins and needles. So my week at Indie Clover has come to an end, or so I thought. I'll get into more of that in just a second, but I wanted to go over the stats to see if I met the goal of making $1,001 in the 2 weeks that I had my stuff here. We went over this a little bit, but the first week I sold 55 items for a grand total of $589. For week 2, which was Christmas week, was a little bit slower. We got a traffic altercation going on right now. I sold a grand total of 31 items for $370 in week 2, which takes my total for the 2 weeks to be $957 in sales. Unfortunately, coming just $44 short of our goal. But this is where it gets a little bit interesting because it's slower. They're really nice, and they sent me a code to say we will give you the next week for absolutely free. And I think that's a win-win for both of us because they don't have to find someone to fill the booths that are already there. They still make the 33% on everything that I sell, and then I get a bonus of keeping all the stuff that I've already tagged and listed. Most of the work is already done. They let me know this information just before I was about to head out yesterday. So I came in today to do one more touch up. All right, let's jump in here to see what sold. Looks like the vinyl stack is gone. I feel like I've sold at least a third of those, maybe half. I sold probably half of these Starbucks tumblers that I could not get rid of selling on Marketplace. That's interesting. Like I sold probably a third of my stuff in the guys section and a decent amount of the shirts in the women's. Purses really did not do that well. I think I only sold one. Looks like I sold a few hats. These were more pricey hats. I did not want to lose money on these ones. Sold some of the toys and the knickknacks I had up here. Yeah, not bad. It's halfway through the day now and I've already made that $46, just pushing me just over the $1,001 goal. So just needed that extra half day to accomplish that goal. So I consider this a win. As a reseller, let me know if this is something that you would do, or also if you're just someone who has a bunch of stuff in your closet, would this be something that you would want to try out? Also, if there is anywhere else that you can think of that might be a good idea for me to try out reselling, drop a comment. That's gonna do it for the end of this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already.